What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Roussillon. It's episode number 9 of The Climb, and oh my word, I've turned into a complete lyrical MC. I'll tell you what, let's stop that right now, shall we? Let's just stop the rapping, Jack. Stop the poetry. We had enough of that in episode 1's intro. Let's talk about things, shall we, folks? It's the 17th of October, and there's loads of stuff today that I want to talk about off the pitch that I just keep forgetting about, to the point where today I've got a notepad. I've got a blooming notepad. That's how seriously we're taking it. Hopefully I'm going to get everything mentioned today. There's been a few things that I've been meaning to talk about since the start of this season. I guess we'll start with the thing top of the list, and that is the fact that we had a load of board requests granted over the summer. Yeah, I know that's a little bit mental to be saying in the middle of October, but it's where we're at, everyone. So obviously we talked about the professional status, but in terms of other bits and pieces going on, our youth recruitment's been upgraded. We have a new senior affiliate as well, which is really good progress. Obviously, affiliate's always useful in Football Manager. The affiliate we've got, I think, is going to be more useful longer term, and it's actually Nancy, or Nancy. The answers on a postcard as to how to say their name. A team that traditionally in Football Manager produce some really, really good regens. Unfortunately for us, the current situation is that a lot of their players aren't that interested in joining us. But nevertheless, they're a team that have, fantastic youth recruitment, great facilities. I'm hopeful that in the coming years, as we start to climb a little bit more, hopefully they'll get promoted. And we'll have a pick of a really good bunch of young players that can really hopefully bolster our squad and help us out. Obviously, I'm trying to do things a little bit different here at Roussillon. Unlike perhaps previous FM saves of mine, where we go afar and we hoard in loads of youngsters, I'm looking to get in slightly more experience. I mean, you look at the average age of our team here, it's one of the largest average ages ever, one of the highest average ages ever for one of my teams in Football Manager, certainly. I mean, we have 3 players in our back 4 over the age of 32, so that gives you an idea. It's not a traditional WorkTheSpace save game, at least at the moment. Obviously, in the coming years, I'm hoping that we are going to get some good youth players through. But I'm sure that loan signings from our affiliate is something that longer term is certainly going to benefit us. Also, you'll notice here that Toulouse are listed as an affiliate. This is actually something that I set up at the start of the save game in the pre-game editor when I was doing other changes. We have a affiliation with Toulouse. Nothing particularly special about it, just the fact that an annual friendly can be arranged with them. It was kind of weird, actually. Someone in the YouTube comments of yesterday's video, and I'm really sorry because I don't have your name written down, kind of said, it'd be well cool if you had an affiliation with Toulouse where you play them every year. I got you, my man. I agree. It is very cool to the extent where I'd already done it. So who would have thought? Anyway, so those are the affiliates. We are looking at, other possible improvements as well. You can see here the budget for junior coaching was increased. I would like to improve the youth facilities and the training facilities, but at the moment that isn't really on the cards. You can see here that slowly but surely we have been increasing the number of staff members available as well. Just from a financial perspective, you'll see here that we currently have £737,000 in the bank. The way the finances are set up here is that we do have some sponsorships, including a youth grant that lasts for 10 years. Total value is £4 million. With the, upgraded facilities that I did provide at the start of the save game, although they were upgraded only slightly to 2-star, there is a associated cost with that. If we just look at the expenditure each year, last season, it cost us about £201,000. In real life, Roussillon are getting a big payout from the league as a result of the promotion stuff that just didn't happen. That is somewhat reflected, I suppose, in the youth team grant thing. I think it might be slightly more than £4 million, but it's not over 10 years. Either way, just for the sake of this database, that's how it was set up. A few people have asked about the finances. The finances are fine. Please do bear in mind that over the course of this year so far, we've lost about £90,000 over the last 3 or 4 months. That's without any players on wages whatsoever. So do expect that once we go semi-pro next year, once we are paying our players some money, those finances are just going to slowly go down and down and down and down and down. Of course, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Anyway, I've got a dilemma, and I need your help, everyone. It's one of those. The dilemma is to sign or not to sign Mbakani. Now, you probably look at this and go, Jack, this is an absolute no-brainer. Why would you not sign this guy? And to be fair, it's a pretty legitimate comment. He's an incredible target man, great in the air, far too good for this level, as you may have caught whiff of on this screen. He wants to be a player and a scout, and for as crazy as he is as a player, as a scout, it's a hard sell for me. He's just not very good. Now, the weird thing here is we do have a spot for a scout open. I was able to request a new spot, so he would take up that space that exists. It's not like we need to fire anyone. Obviously, the issue is he's just not very good. Right now, I'm leaning on the mindset of we bring him in as a player scout on an amateur contract, and then when he retires at the end of the season and he becomes just a scout, we pay him £9 and tell him to piss off, and we just don't have him as a scout member anymore. It kind of makes sense. I think that's probably the most logical approach. Equally, you know, it would perhaps mean ousting one of our other players, but I don't know, 34 years old, tons of international experience, a really, really good player in the air that could be quite useful from set pieces, for example. And to be fair, his legs haven't completely gone. For this level, 9 acceleration is kind of workable. So he could be a very interesting addition to the team. And well, since you were last here, we have made one new addition. Jordan Saban has joined us. He was released, if we just look here, from Granada, previously at Toulouse as well. A very good young player, far too good to be signing on an amateur deal, IMO. You can see here, he's joined us. He's 23, so he's not even one of these older great players. He's just a very, very good young player. Fantastic centre mid. In our team, he is slotting in, and he hasn't made too much of an impact on the first team yet, because he has literally joined us in the past couple of weeks, but he is going to play that centre mid on support role. It is worth noting that with him coming into the team and offering us significantly more quality, I did have to tell one player, please leave, you're not needed here anymore. And unfortunately, that player was our captain, Ant. He's been complaining a lot about a lack of first team football. He really hasn't been doing it for me. I've not been wowed by him. He's not blown me away. Gave him chances this year, really didn't show me anything that warranted, you know, giving him more opportunities. And because of how influential he was being club captain, he was complaining. Other players were obviously having that knock-on effect from a senior player in the team complaining. So we've just released him because we can afford to do that. It doesn't cost us any money on amateur contracts, and it does solve the problem somewhat. As a result, Kevin Dezon has gone now from Toulouse Metropole to Luzenac captain in the space of 4 months. I don't really love it, but it's kind of the best thing I can do in the current situation. Worth noting, as vice coming into the team is Hugo Robert, who, I don't know, this guy's become quite a favourite of mine in a slightly bizarre way. He's one of the few very, very determined players in the team so far this season. A 7.07 average rating, and as you can see here, a 9.4 average rating in the French Cup. And well, speaking of games, shall we have a look at the fixtures since you were last here? Of course, last episode we took on Rodez. Since then, 2 games in the league, 2 games in the Cup. The first match we had was against Pibricase. Of course, they were promoted via the playoffs with us last season, a team who have struggled this year. They are rock bottom, they are struggling big time, and well, we didn't hold back any punches. A 3-1 win, a very good result here for us all. 3 goals coming in pretty quick succession in the earlier stages of the game. They did get a later goal back, but the game was dead, to be honest. Mutaki getting 2 was really great to see. Prior to this game, he'd only played 1 match for a full 90 minutes, so for him to finally get more game time was great. He played superbly, and Castellan got a nice goal as well. And, well, in the next game, things didn't quite go to plan the same way. Taking on Béziers, we lost this game 1-0. It was against Béziers 2. That's where the 2 came from. They scored via Morante in the 86th minute. I wasn't very happy. I thought, it's just a blip. You know, first loss in a competitive game. We've got the French National League Cup. We're going to be fine in this. And then El Mutaki decided, no, Gaffer, we're not. He got sent off after 16 minutes. To be fair to him, in 3D, it didn't look like a red card, but football manager's weird sometimes. They got a goal just before half-time, and we could never really respond. They are a team that we should have been beating in this competition. I would have quite liked a long cup run in the French National League Cup, but alas, it wasn't meant to be. Fortunately, following on from this, it did get a little bit better, because in the next game, without Mutaki, who was serving his suspension, we took on Lucent AC in the French Cup, 5th round. We beat them 5-1, a really, really good result here. Nguala with 2, Castellan with 1, Hugo Robert grabbing 2 as well from set pieces, and well, that gives us a little bit of momentum into today's game against Canet Roussillon. Unfortunately for us, with losing just that 1 game in the league, we now fall down to 2nd. Canet Roussillon just 1 point behind us. You can see here, Agged, currently 2 points ahead of us. We're going to be hoping to keep the gap to 2 today, although this is going to be a tricky little game for us. Obviously, this is our 10th game of the season in a 26-game season. So far, we've kind of had a bit of a weird run of games where, despite winning a load and doing very well, we've played all the teams in the lower half. So in the next couple of weeks, we'll have a better idea of exactly where we lie. And we've got Agged at the end of November, just lurking on the horizon, a game that I'm a little bit scared about. Obviously, when we played them at the start of the year and drew 0-0, we didn't really know how big a game that was going to be. Considering that is only one of 2 games where they've slipped up, that 0-0 is a really, really good result away from home. At home in the grand scheme of things. I say away from home. It's technically away from home. It's not our home ground, but it's not an away game for them either. Anyway, just looking at my notes, do I have anything else to talk about? I'll tell you what we'll talk about just before we get into today's game. The youth team, the under-19s. Now, of course, last year there were a few players who I promoted to the senior team and gave some first-team football to. Unfortunately, it's just not really been possible to do it this year. I ended up having to demote them back down. If you were wondering how the likes of Gerard Morin are getting on, he's developing a little bit. He's not wowing me with his development. He's kind of just doing a little bit of it, the 16-year-old. I'm hoping that he's going to kick on and really show some promising signs of development, but we'll have to wait and see. And Cyprian David, who we had in the first team, you might remember, he's getting more composed by the day, but across the board, his level of development, I guess, since he was making his debut in the first team last season hasn't been superb. What I would say is 6 goals and 4 assists in 10 league appearances in the under-19s league is a pretty good return by all accounts. So cautiously optimistic about their development still. You know, there's no harm in these guys taking a step back in order to take a step forward, and we are going to keep a close eye on them. Of course, with the board request of improved youth facilities granted, I'm very cautiously optimistic that in a couple of months' time, when we get our youth candidate preview, Fabian Barthez is going to be telling me about all the godlike players that are coming through our academy. At least that's the dream. So anyway, let's get into this game. We're taking on Canet Roussillon. Just in terms of general squad news, Sega has been wrestling with injury quite a lot. He made a really good impact last game, and that was his second appearance for the club. Since then, he's got injured and not played since. So maybe he can come in today and have an impact. In terms of the best 11 right now, this is the team that I'm somewhat settling on, which you'll notice is without Jefferson Farfan. As much as I love Farfan, I love the impact that he can have. His physicals have been on the decline, and with me knowing that he's retiring at the end of the year, I don't want to put all my eggs into the Jefferson Farfan basket, particularly when we have got a real abundance of attacking midfield talent. And Castellang, who I thought was the player who was going to make way, has got 4 goals and 2 assists. He's been banging in free kicks for fun. It's a little bit difficult to justify dropping him right now. Of course, over the coming months there will be rotation needed, and I'm sure we will be changing things up. Across the back, though, you can see Gabert in goal, Dizon, who is now club captain at left back alongside Robert, who is vice, Bilek, the Djibouti international, showing some signs of decline at the age of 32. That's kind of a trend across the board as we look at Karim Bouali, who actually... the last time I looked at him, there were red arrows everywhere. Suddenly, he's improving again. Considering the man is 34 years old later on this season, he's still doing really well. 3 goals, 1 assist. He's loving it this season. It might be his best ever goal-scoring season. In the centre of the midfield, Bar and Saban are a really, really nice complementary duo. You can see here, Bar slightly more physical, slightly more defensive, a little more athletic. However, Saban really offers us something technical on the ball. As a duo, though, they kind of play off each other nicely. I feel like in previous years, we kind of just had Berene Bar as kind of the defensive option and then kind of a slightly more mobile midfielder alongside him. This is more my kind of centre-mid partnership, a really technical player with a ball winner. I'm less keen on having players who are super quick at centre-mid, particularly in a system like this one. We're not looking to break away quickly with pace. It is very much about how we deal with the ball and build out at the back. Anyway, Nguala out on the left-hand side has had a little bit of a quiet month, but I'm hoping he's going to come big for us today. A player who, if we did want to mix things up, could possibly be dropped to bring in Farfan. And up top, Mutaki, despite his sending off, despite being a very naughty boy, he's back in the first team. He's got 2 goals in 6 appearances. So far this season, of course, had some issues with injuries. I'm hoping they're to the kind of back of his mind. I'm hoping that we're over the worst of those now. Hopefully today he can perform big for us, because Canet Roussillon, 2 points behind us, are going to want to beat us. Or in fact, 1 point behind us. They're even closer than I want to admit. So this is big for us. Away from home, it's not going to be easy. We're going to try and dominate the game from the off. Looking at their team, they are playing a 4-4-2 here. And while the teams are warming up, I am warmed up. Let's get into this, boys. We need a result today. I'm looking for us to dominate the ball. Keep an eye on Saban at centre mid. I am so excited about what he can really offer alongside Berene Bar. He is such a good passer for this level. Not the most athletic centre mid by any means, but in terms of his overall technical ability, it's absolutely outstanding. Let's see what he can achieve today for us, shall we? This is a tricky game. This is the first time we played one of the big teams in and around us, knowing that they're one of the big teams in and around us. As I've kind of already alluded to, in a slightly weird way the fixtures have lined up, we've played a lot of the lower down teams. We've not really played many of the teams in the top 4. I'm hoping for something big today, and while I thought we were off to the dream start, the linesman, though, he wants to crush my dreams into the dirt. Castaigne almost adding another goal to his collection from a throw-in, but now they have a throw-in that we need to deal with. Bilek heads it out to Bar, now with Karambouali, who switches the play up to El Mutaki, out wide to Nguala. Lovely little breakaway here. Can Nguala score it? No, he can't. The ball flashes across the line. And well, wide of the post, unfortunately for us, right across the face of goal. Keeper maybe had it covered. It's a good early chance, but it's the only early chance, really. Look at this. 40 minutes gone, it's 0-0. We have dominated it without really dominating it. 65% of the ball, 2 shots, 1 on target. We're 40 minutes in. This is a game that has been stuck in the midfield, and well, they're going to look to make us pay here as Lateb brings it forward. Gilbert, though, with a superb save in the one-on-one. That's why we've brought him in. That's why he's been our number 1 keeper this year. I'm sorry, Tyder, who is unfortunately injured at the moment, our second choice keeper. He was our first choice last year, but Gilbert, so far this year, really has been a bit of a difference maker when it comes to one-on-ones. I feel like we got caught out, with our possession play. Inevitably, teams are going to break away a bit like this, have one-on-ones. Gilbert, traditionally, has been quite good. Of course, as I say that, he blooming concedes. Thank you, Football Manager. They're listening in, they can hear me. Brandon Lateb grabbed his 7th of the season. How good is he for them? I mean, he's not a bad little player, is he? It's his 4th goal in the league all year. Apparently he doesn't enjoy big matches, but he looked very composed in the finish there. Caught with a slightly high line. I think Robert is just having a jolly, to be honest. He should have been coming over to cover, but that is the joys of lower league football in Football Manager. 1-0 at the break. I feel like we need to change something here. I feel like we need to do something a little bit different. In terms of what I'm thinking that we go perhaps a little more attacking here. I'm thinking that we try and, commit a little further up the pitch, a little more directly. Maybe less of the work in the ball into the box, more of just playing on the front foot, playing attacking. We are going to leave ourselves a little exposed at the back. I'm hoping that changing Saban into a deep line playmaker is going to help a little bit with that. Just acting as a little bit more of an anchor in the team. Anyway, I think I forgot to do a team talk there. But, I mean, we'll just play it off as if, we've just ignored the players at half-time. We've let them know that we're disgusted. We've told them the changes in plan. But I'm not going to tell them specifics. They can work it out themselves. They're professional. They're literally not professional footballers. It's valid. Right, I mean, 2 minutes into the half, tactical changes made. Just looking to get a little bit more direct. And, well, that's what we want to see. Mutaki through on goal. No one in support. Can he do it on his own? Cotteri saves it, parries it wide. It was not a conventional goalkeeping technique to deal with that shot. We do have a corner, but I don't think it's going to amount to anything. I could be wrong. Robert heads over, a free header. He's got to hit the target. How are we losing this game 1-0? How are we losing this 1-0? This is a game we can't afford to lose as well. I know we're away from home, so it should be difficult, and I know they're 3rd in the league. But you can see here, even against one of the big teams in the league, we are, by all accounts, playing far better than them. Nguala in the wide area. Now with Desoni whips in. El Mutaki, welcome back, my friend. We've missed you this season. We need you scoring goals like that. He's in the media dream 11. He's considered one of the best players in the league. He's really not shown it this year. But, I mean, I love Nguala's little run here. Because you can see here, they just overcommit. I mean, it's shocking defending. But overcommit. Both centre mids come over. El Mutaki just drops out into the space that's left behind. Free header, lovely finish. Hopefully that can give us the momentum, and hopefully they're not about to kill the momentum immediately with a goal here. Youssef to Hatab. Whipped in, Gilbert collects. I had complete faith in him, honest. Quick distribution is nice, but El Mutaki just caught out there. Couldn't hold it up with his good aerial ability. Nguala, though, with it here. He loves to run at defences. He loves to run at them and run into them, allegedly. Canet wins the ball and launches it forward himself. Latab, he's already scored 1. Can we stop him on this occasion? Of course we blooming can. Gilbert, you big boy. What a stop that is. This game has had so many clear-cut chances. There's part of me that wants to drop the defence just slightly deeper because we are just getting caught out just a little bit more than I would like to admit. You know what? Slightly less urgent pressing. No offside trap. I feel like that's caught us out a little bit. Let's just drop deep. We're getting caught out. Our old defence, as old and as gold as it is, it's not particularly athletic, and Leteb is, well, clearly causing us an issue or two. They got a corner here, though. Can we deal with it? Whip towards the back post, headed away. Only as far as Youssef, though. Please be a pointless highlight. That could be in the penalty area. Okay, it's a free kick. Relax, everyone. And we're good. And the free kick doesn't even amount to a chance. You love it. Right. Hour gone. Changes needed, I think, in terms of personnel. Nguala's not been good enough today. I'm going to bring in Shinine. And Sega, coming back from injury, has been a bit hit and miss. Jefferson Farfan, come on down. Fresh legs in the wide midfield positions. I think that's what's needed. I don't want to change things too drastically because I do feel like, I don't know, I feel like momentum's with us. I feel like we've got the momentum. Shinine as well could hit it from here, or Farfan could hit it even. He's on the pitch, he hits it, he bends it, oh my word. I don't think it was going in, but I respect the goalkeeper making the over-athletic save for the local newspaper to write about. Shinine whips in, headed away. Saban's effort is blocked. We are knocking on the door. I really love my knocking on the door analogy, don't I? But I like knocking on doors, not running away, kicking the door down. Okay, maybe not that. If any police officers are watching, I don't go down around kicking doors down. Just to be 100% clear, I'm an honest civilian. And so's Farfan. Look at him. Means he's going forward with it on his own. Can he whip it in? Of course he can. Shinine lurking at the back post. I thought it was going to go from one sub to another. I thought it was going to be that moment where you pat yourself on the back and go, I've made the difference there as manager. Karen Bouali keeps it in, whips it in. El Mutaki with the header. Let's go. 2-1. You love to see it. 2 goals for him. He's doubled his tally in the league for the season. In the space of one game, in a game where it really, really matters. The change to change the fullbacks to wingbacks just to add a bit more width to the team has worked really nicely. And to be fair, I feel like we've made some really good adaptations this game. We've not, nuked our game plan. We've not completely changed it. Just adapted slightly to kind of, I guess, limit their opportunities on the break. I would like another goal here if we could get it, Karen Bouali. Unleashes the long throw. Mutaki's going to be looking for the hat-trick. Falls to Saban. Oh my word, what a goal that could have been for him on his live commentary debut, the 23-year-old. As it is, the woodwork denies him. But, I don't know, I feel like there's another goal in this game. I'm hoping it's going to be a goal to us. Shinine with a corner here. Whips it towards the near post. Headed away again. Mutaki, though, reads it. Gets the ball. He's going to be looking for his hat-trick. Is he going to be unselfish? The answer is no. He goes for a shot. I'm not sure why we've been shown it. The only thing I can assume is it's not the end of the highlight. Garcia bringing the ball forward for them. Hits it from range. I don't think Ambitious quite covers what that effort was for them, but we live to fight another day. Dezon now. Long throw into the area. Falls to Shinine. Knocked forward. Falls to someone. It's offside. It would have been an own goal for the keeper, but he's been let off the hook. What was that? How was that offside? We're not even going to get a replay. I don't think it was offside. It would have been one of the worst own goals you've ever seen. The goalkeeper is spared his blushes. We get the win that I think we probably deserved. A great little fight back though. 1-0 down at half-time. Made some changes. Got shouty. And, a 2-1 win for us is huge. And elsewhere, Agd lost. Oh my word. We go top of the league by just 1 point. That is absolutely massive. Thank you very much to Blagnac. I say that, we've still got to play them before long, and that's going to be a pretty big game. In fact, you can see we've got them and Agd away from home in the month of November in just a couple of games' time. I'm hoping we can string together a French Cup run. We've got an amateur team in our next game. I'm thinking next episode, maybe we come back for the Blagnac and Act games against one another. Unfortunately, despite both being back-to-back, they are 3 weeks apart, but I do feel like they could be an interesting pair of games to do, particularly given the fact that they now sit in, second and fourth place. Wins in those games, and I think we can really start to dream and hope of a promotion this year, but things are looking pretty positive for us right now in mid-October. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. I hope you have enjoyed today's episode. If you have, a like is super appreciated as always. Let me know, but I think we'll do a live com doubleheader next time. I hope you're excited for it. I hope you're ready for it. I will see you guys then. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.